Hi, my name is Lydia Namuli and I'm here to share with you about my findings of an infectious disease called cholera. Cholera is said to have been in existence since the 15th century, and around the 19th century it became very common. It got to be known worldwide, and it's said to have started from India and spread to the rest of the world. However, to this day, there is not enough proof to prove that cholera was in existence even before the 19th century. Cholera is said to have reached USA through a certain island called Staunton in New York, and it spread to the rest of the parts of USA. By 1866, it had spread to Mississippi, Texas, among others. It is an acute infection of the small intestines, resulting in symptoms like diarrhea, illness, and it is caused by a bacteria called Vibrio cholera. The Vibrio cholera bacteria is a gram-negative species, has a cell envelope, it's very pathogenic to the body and very toxic. The bacterium Vibrio cholera belongs to serial group 01 or 0319. It is a bean or comma-shaped bacteria and loves living in water, especially salt water. The cholera bacterium is usually found in poor hygiene environments that have been contaminated by feces or poop from one person who is infected with cholera bacteria. According to the Wikipedia, the Vibrio cholera is pathogenic to humans and causes a deadly disease called cholera, which is mostly got by the consumption of unsafe water. Not only the consumption of contaminated water causes cholera, but also consuming unsafe or undercooked food, eating raw shellfish, among others, are great significant vehicles of the transmission of cholera. Once one contracts to the disease, it interferes with their normal body functions by making them very weak. They lose weight since they undergo serious, severe diarrhea. The Vibrio bacteria is spread by humans, not by vectors, through fecal oral route, whereby if anyone who is safe takes a bite from unsafe food or takes a sip of contaminated water, they get the infection of cholera. So it's not spread by vectors like mosquitoes or flies. Out of a group of 10 people that may get sick with cholera, one of the people will experience symptoms at least within 2 or 3 days, or between hours to 5 days. Such symptoms may include vomiting, thirsty, leg cramps, watery diarrhea, restlessness, and inability to walk steadily. Rapid loss of blood fluids may lead to severe dehydration, dry mucous membrane, rapid heart rate, low blood pressure, low blood sugar, and many more. If this disease is treated immediately, there may not be long-term complications. But if one relaxes and ignores it and thinks that it's going to treat by itself within a short period of time, it may cause death like any other severe disease. The cholera disease is diagnosed by only using one method, and that is taking a sample of stool from anyone's poop and they test it through the laboratory or through using dipstick tests. In most African remote areas, most of the doctors use dipstick tests to test for cholera because they don't get access to a lot of laboratories and they don't get access to a lot of services that may help them test for cholera within a short period of time without using dipstick tests. Sometimes cholera cures on its own in case one gets it, if it's still mild, and it may take 3 to 6 days of onset. If it is severe, it gets very serious and it's treated seriously with higher needed methods like IV therapy, like antibiotics, among others. Once one contracts cholera, the first-hand treatment that is given to him or her is rehydration, because cholera involves a lot of loss of fluids. So the oral rehydration therapy restores lots of lost fluids and salt. The use of intravenous vein IV fluids and a variety of antibodies may come in case the symptoms become very severe and need more strong treatments. The recommended antibodies include azithromycin, tetracycline, doxycycline, erythromycin. However, it is believed that azithromycin is the most effective among the mentioned antibodies. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration 2016, FDA approved a certain vaccine for this disease. They approved a single dose, which is an live oral cholera vaccine called Cholera for adults between 18 to 64 years in the United States. It is only given to adults. Currently, the US is almost completely free from cholera, and that's why very few Americans can get this cholera vaccine, since they can hardly get exposed to cholera and can hardly even visit places with the cholera outbreak. The World Health Organization also approved 3 other non-live cholera vaccines, which are Dacoro, Sancol, Evicol. Sancol and Evicol are given at the age of 1 year and above, and they are given in 2 doses, and they give a protection of 3 years in case one takes a full dose. And the core is given starting from 2 years and above, and it's also given in 2 doses, and it gives a protection of 2 years. However, there are some people who take these vaccines once, and they rely on them for a certain period of time because they believe that they can be protected for a period of time that they may need to be exposed to those areas with cholera without taking a full dose. But it is stressed that for full protection, one needs to take a full dose. Americans that decide to travel to areas with such diseases like cholera are advised to rely on preventive strategies. Why? Because still the vaccines are not 100% safe. Such Americans are asked to protect themselves against cholera through using protective measures like consuming safe food, consuming safe water, maintaining good hygiene, and washing their hands frequently. Once one is contradicted or contracts this disease, they put the following in place in order to manage it. First of all, they drink clean fluids in order to hydrate themselves. They brush teeth as recommended. They wash their hands as needed. They use latrines to bury poop and avoid swimming in unsafe water. They take zinc as supplements as another way to manage the disease. They are also advised to eat lemon, ginger, to take probiotic yogurt, among others. All these are ways how one can manage the disease in case they get it. The disease affects both children and adults, male and women. It does not have a preference of a size, of age, of sex. So as a place experiences a cholera outbreak, all categories of people have to be tested. And since 1990s throughout the 21st century, the sub-Saharan African region has been reported to have the most cholera cases and deaths. And CDC article of 2020 provided a list of countries in Africa with the latest highest cholera outbreak years and cholera deaths. This list is as follows. Cameroon has its latest outbreak as 2009, 2010, 2010 in May, and 2009, 2010 in September, and 2010 in May. Then it has 7,822 cases and 518 deaths as of now. The Democratic Republic of Congo has got the latest with 2019, 2012, 2011, 2008, 2003, 2002. All those years, this country has been experiencing cholera outbreak. Kenya, 2015, 2011, and 2009. Tanzania, 2015. Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Sudan, Nigeria, Mozambique, among others. All those have got outbreaks of cholera, but not so many like the Democratic Republic of Congo. Below is a map of the African continent with countries that have been spotted to be the most exposed to cholera. All the countries that are shaded green like Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, and Congo, plus Guinea, among others, are spotted to be the countries with the highest exposure and deaths and cases of cholera with amongst the whole world. Based on the information given by CDC and World Health Organization, the cholera outbreaks are so monotonous in African countries that are shaded green in the above geographical picture of the African continent, most especially the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has the latest, the majority, and has the majority than any other country in the world. Young and old people in such African countries are the ones most at risk of this bacteria infectious disease. And in case of any testing, all these should be tested. It is because of this that cholera vaccines are commonly used in Africa, other than the USA, where chances of being infected with the disease are extremely low. For that reason, the USA does not have the cholera vaccines anymore. They are mainly and globally given out in the African countries because those are the countries that are highly at exposure